Hurricanes are among the most fascinating and, at the same time, most feared natural phenomena that Earth has to offer. They are not mere storms, but intricate atmospheric machines fueled by the planet's energy, capable of unleashing devastating force that reshapes entire landscapes and impacts millions of lives. However, their power is not limited to destruction. Hurricanes tell stories of natural balance, atmospheric complexity, and, unfortunately, human vulnerability. To fully understand these natural giants, we must delve into their origins, understand how they form, how they function, and why, for centuries, they have both terrified and captivated humanity. Hurricanes form over tropical oceans, where warm waters act as a true fuel source for their development. When ocean waters reach temperatures above 26.5 degrees Celsius, evaporation begins, loading the overlying air with moisture. This vapor rises, encountering cooler air layers, and condenses into droplets that release heat. This heat, called latent heat, is the fundamental ingredient that powers the storm. As the warm, moist air rises, it creates a spiraling vortex that can develop into a tropical cyclone. However, to become a hurricane, additional conditions are necessary. Surrounding winds must be weak to prevent the system from being disrupted, and the Coriolis effect, the rotational movement caused by Earth's spin, must impart its characteristic cyclonic motion. The evolution of a hurricane follows precise stages. It all begins with a simple tropical disturbance, a small area of low pressure with mild thunderstorm activity. If conditions are favorable, this disturbance can evolve into a tropical depression, followed by a tropical storm. At this point, the storm is given its name, signifying it has reached a certain intensity. When winds exceed 74 miles per hour, 119 kilometers per hour, the storm is classified as a hurricane. At this stage, it organizes around its eye, a region of relative calm, and the eye wall, the most violent part of the cyclone, where destructive winds and torrential rainfall occur. But why do we name these phenomena? The tradition of naming hurricanes has practical and historical roots. In the early 20th century, meteorologists began assigning personal names to storms to avoid confusion, especially during emergencies, when multiple storms could strike simultaneously. Initially, only female names were used, but in the 1970s, the practice evolved into a more equitable system, alternating male and female names. Today, the World Meteorological Organization selects names from predetermined lists for each oceanic region. If a hurricane causes particularly severe damage, its name is retired forever, becoming a symbol of destruction and tragedy. Katrina, Andrew, Harvey, and Maria are just a few names that will never be reused. Hurricanes, however, are not merely atmospheric events. They are multifaceted threats. Winds, which can exceed 186 miles per hour, 300 kilometers per hour, can destroy entire cities, topple trees, wipe out infrastructure, and leave landscapes unrecognizable. Storm surges, however, represent one of the deadliest components of these phenomena. When a hurricane approaches the coast, its winds push massive amounts of water inland, causing sudden flooding. These sea level rises can reach over 20 feet, 6 meters, submerging coastal cities and villages within minutes. Adding to this are torrential rains that can trigger landslides and widespread flooding, as seen with Hurricane Harvey in 2017, which recorded over 60 inches, 1,500 millimeters, of rain in some parts of Texas. History is full of hurricanes that have left indelible marks. The 1900 Galveston hurricane, for instance, is remembered as the deadliest in U.S. history, claiming around 8,000 lives. This disaster occurred in an era when meteorological forecasting was rudimentary, and the population was unprepared. Katrina in 2005 devastated New Orleans, causing over 1,800 deaths and $170 billion in damages. Storm surges submerged much of the city, leaving thousands trapped and in dire conditions for days. In 2013, Haiyan, locally known as Yolanda, struck the Philippines with record-breaking winds of 195 manil, 320 km/h, killing over 6,300 people and displacing millions. Each of these events not only changed the geography of the affected areas, but also marked the collective memory of those who experienced them. Scientists believe climate change is making hurricanes more intense and frequent. Rising global temperatures have a direct impact on oceans, which absorb about 90% of the excess heat generated by greenhouse gases. This warming makes hurricanes stronger by providing them with more latent heat. Additionally, rising sea levels amplify the effects of storm surges, making flooding even more devastating for coastal communities. The observed slowing of hurricane movement over the past decades poses another threat. Slower storms mean prolonged rainfall and extended devastation, as seen with Harvey. Not all hurricanes are the same. Depending on the region, they are called by different names. Typhoons in the western Pacific, tropical cyclones in the Indian Ocean. Their classification also varies. In the United States, the Saffir-Simpson scale measures wind intensity and classifies hurricanes into 5 categories, from the least intense, Category 1, to the extremely destructive, Category 5. Hurricanes are true natural giants capable of releasing immense energy. It is estimated that an average hurricane releases as much energy as 10 nuclear bombs every second. Despite this impressive power, they are also a crucial natural phenomenon for the planet's balance. They stir the oceans, distribute excess heat, and bring essential rains to some arid regions. Yet every time a hurricane approaches, bearing a seemingly harmless name like Katrina, Sandy, or Maria, we know that behind it lies a force we cannot control. Hurricanes remind us of our vulnerability in the face of nature, but also offer an opportunity to reflect on our relationship with the planet. Preparing for, understanding, and respecting these phenomena not only helps save lives, but teaches us that true strength lies in harmony with the world around us. Hurricanes showcase the most majestic and unpredictable side of nature, reminding us how essential it is to understand and respect it. If you found this exploration intriguing, give it a like and subscribe so you won't miss more extraordinary content about the world around us. Thank you for your time, and see you on the next discovery.